What is going on, guys? Samuel Wolf, Samuel Diffuse here, back with another top 10 list. As today, I am here to discuss my top 10 best movie trilogies. It's about time I finally get this, because I've been actually doing this list quite some time, actually. But now I think it's what I'm trying to do with all that's going on right now. Again, trilogies, of course, means like 3 movies, honestly, and I'm also ranking these trilogies based on more consistency and how watchable they are, how much they impacted me. And of course, there are a couple of I won't be including on this list, so I won't be including the Toy Story, because I originally was going to be on the list, but considering Toy Story 4 is out, and I'm also not going to include the John Wick trilogy, considering there's going to be another movie out, so I will be including that, fortunately. So I'm picking 10 trilogies that I personally have enjoyed the most. And have enjoyed, liked, and loved the most. Again, all of it depends on consistency throughout the trilogy, how much, because there may be some films that might not be the most best movies. At least one movie in this trilogy that really is like the best. It just more depends on how I feel about the other movies. So, and it's got 10 to 12 about, so not the bush. Let's get started, shall we? Now coming in at number 10, and I don't know how some people's gonna like this choice, but for number 10 we have the Star Wars sequel trilogy. Yes, this could get the list in. I don't typically not like this because again, Star Wars really isn't what I talk about anymore. And I know there are some people that really aren't fans of these movies in general. But me personally, I love them all. I mean, they're definitely not perfect movies, honestly. Like, definitely far from me perfect movies, to be honest. Mainly Rise of Skywalker. But I can't help but actually having fun and enjoying these movies. Force Awakens is definitely a film that really is just rejuvenate the franchise, and Jack and Dick were just what made Star Wars so good, pretty much. It's a kind of formulaic, kinda, but I mean, in a way, it kind of needs to be, and my fun doesn't be formulaic as long as I have fun with it, and as long as I appreciate what's going for. And I do. The Force Awakens is easily one of the most watchable movies ever for me. I love coming back to this movie. I love watching this movie. The characters are great. The action sequences are great. The villain's great. And I know a lot of people have their issues with Last Jedi, which is probably easily the most divisive movie, pretty much ever. And I can definitely understand a lot of the issues it has, but me, I always love it for being a very unique movie. Again, it's definitely not perfect, but I definitely love what it was going for. I especially like what Rian Johnson was going for, especially with the characters. Especially with Rey, Luke, and especially Kylo Ren. And again, I can understand what people don't like Skywalker, especially with the whole Palpatine thing, that kind of gets a little worse the more I think about it. But I just thought it was a really good movie. Not great, not the film I wanted, but it definitely wasn't a disappointment, but I see why it would disappoint some people. I still have a blast with the movie, and I might still have a blast with the more I watch it. Again, this definitely isn't the most consistent trilogy. I mean, they really aren't playing for it, but it's really the fun and energy and the world and the characters and the action that'll make me love this trilogy and will be put on the list. I mean, none of these movies are really perfect. Not every character gets the biggest moments to shine, but I still love this trilogy. Of course, definitely not good as originals, but still a great trilogy. Now, coming in at number 9, we have the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. And no, sure, Spider-Man 3 really isn't a great movie, or probably not that good of a movie, to be honest. And I mean, to me, in a way, I give myself appreciating more. But definitely, I still had some good moments to it. But do remind you of the whole dancing thing and all that. But it's for the first 2 movies that really break this movie up on the list. Yeah, I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I love Sam Raimi, and I freaking love the first 2 movies. The first 2 movies are pretty much the definition of my childhood. They are the definition of what makes Spider-Man so great. The first one is pretty much what you should do for an origin story in Spider-Man. Get us to know who he is as a character, who he is as a person, what he's been through. And I still love Tobey Maguire. Like, I know a lot of people kind of shit on him nowadays, but I still love him. I still love him as Peter Parker, and I still love him as Spider-Man too. I fucking love him as both these characters. And especially like Chris, I never got to hit, honestly, I never got to hit Mary Jane. I'm sorry, I never got to hit her character. I love James Franco, and Willem Dafoe is just still Dafoe here. I mean, in the best way. The action is great. It's a little bit cheesy, kind of, but he does this kind of what he was going for. But it's really the sequel that really umps the ante. It's really what a sequel, the definition of what a sequel pretty much should do, honestly. And that is still my favorite Spider-Man movie. Apart from always will be my favorite Spider-Man movie, honestly, for me. And for a good reason. It's a truly fantastic sequel that really umps the ante, has a fantastic villain, tests Peter Parker more than ever. Even though I'm not really the biggest fan of Spider-Man 3, I can at least see what they were going for. I can at least see what they're trying to do. It's just Sony kind of got one this and one that and kind of messed around his vision. But I can watch it. I can watch Spider-Man. Even though it's not really good, not really good movie, I can watch Spider-Man 3. I can watch it. It's not better than most Spider-Man movies on, so that's for sure. I can at least watch Spider-Man 3. But of course, I prefer watching the other two, but I can at least watch it. But all this trilogy is still fantastic. It's still really great. Spider-Man 2 not being the greatest, it's really the first two that really puts this trilogy on this list. Now, coming in at number 8 is the Captain America trilogy, which is one of the only MCU trilogy to be on this list. Listen, it was definitely hard directing these next 8 trilogies. Like, 9 and 10 would probably be on it, but I think 8 would kind of, so bear with me for this, but I love the Captain America trilogy. I love these movies. We went to all of them appeared fantastic movies. Like the first Avenger is just a simple, fun, romp movie that's kind of ill-teasing in some ways. It does have issues, but it's a film that's me is the most underrated the MCU. I fucking love the first Avenger. It's very my gonna have fun with it. Chris Evans really just shines the character, proving himself he gets to be Captain America, and I love the romance with Peggy Carter. It's always so fun and kind of embraces a lot of the style that the era was going for, and it has a pretty emotional ending, especially post-credit scene as well. And of course, the thing with Soldier, that pretty much proved that the MCU can really be serious, can really be a different type of breed, and it can really be emotional, dark, and emotionally mysterious. It's basically kind of like a spy's espionage drill in some ways, and that's what makes it so great, because it's more than just a superhero movie. I still love The Winter Soldier. It's truly a fantastic sequel and really tests Captain whatever. How some people have it's the best MCU movie, and you know, don't see why. It's really a fantastic movie. Like they talked about anyone that at least dislikes that movie, to be honest. And of course, got Civil War, which to me is definitely the best of the trilogy. I fucking love Civil War. It's definitely one of the most watchable movies of the MCU for me. It has a lot going for it, and it succeeds in every way it goes for it. That's what Captain America, or the whole route to Captain America and Iron Man. I mean, I'm going to do like more MCU videos, so I'm talking about more of these movies, but all in all, this Captain America trilogy is truly a fantastic trilogy. I pretty much love every single one of these movies, and they definitely get better as you go along. Since the Fortress was number 8, but still great trilogy lost. Now, coming in at number 7, we have the Before trilogy. So this is 3 romance movies done by Richard Linklater: Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and Before Midnight. The romances are kind of spread 9 years apart. One's I think was 1995, then second one was 2004, and the third one was 2013. And all these movies are truly fantastic, and truly fantastic. I would say before the second one is probably my favorite, but I still love the other two. Basically, tell the story of these two people that end up meeting, and they end up like these movies are basically kind of just talking movies, and movies that just kind of rely more on dialogue. So if you're not in those type of movies, they may not be for you. But as someone who loves all kinds, especially I do kind of like different movies, that's long to give my attention. These movies are films that I always love. These 3 movies are some of my favorite romance movies of all time. After when I do my top 3 romance movies, but these movies aren't on the list. So, and I said the second one's probably my favorite, but even then the first one, Sunrise, and the third one, Midnight, well, fantastic. I actually haven't seen these movies in a while, so I never probably watched them, but these are films I still remember fondly, with Julia Stiles and Huck both giving incredible and fantastic performances, and having such amazing chemistry, probably some of the best chemistry you will ever see in any romance movie. Not to mention the cinematography is great, the locations are great, what the go through are great, get to know who they are. So it's really real movies, and Bruce Willis really is a good director. Again, I haven't seen everyone's movies yet, but this goes to prove that he really is a talented director. Now, coming in at number 6, we have the rebooted Apes trilogy. For Rise, Dawn, and War for the Planet of the Apes. Now let's be real. Who expected a reboot of the Apes movies to actually be good? Now seriously, who expected this to actually be... When the first Rise came out, who expected it to be really good, honestly? Considering that the last movie, done by Tim Burton, do I need to remind you of that movie? Enough said. But really, who really expected that movie to be good, honestly? I don't think anybody did, to be honest. I just thought it was going to be like a cash grab and all that. It's going to be focused too much on humans, not going to do much of Caesar and all these characters. It's just be a generic movie. But Rise ended up being a very complex movie with huge emphasis on the character of Caesar. Even the human characters were actually pretty interesting. Which in this type of movie is not really the best, like, but they are really interesting characters. First one, James Franco, and got Andy Serkis voicing Caesar, and for this whole trilogy, Caesar probably has one of the best character arcs you will ever see. He's definitely probably the top 10 best character arcs ever in movies. He's that good. He's that compelling. He's that engaging. And not his use of visual effects of the character, but also Andy Serkis' performance, which I still think should have won an Oscar. Like, it's a shame that he didn't get nominated at least once. And for me, all these movies have gotten better and better as they go along. Like, Dawn was a pretty impactful movie with a lot of great action sequences, and Cobra being an incredible villain played by Tom McKeville. And then War is a pretty emotional punch that really tests the season more than ever, and some of the most thrilling sequences you will ever see, and Woody Harrelson delivering a phenomenal performance as the Colonel, and ending that will probably knock you flat. Like, this picture has probably some of the best visual effects you will ever see. Like, it's the point where the apes actually feel real. It's kind of scary when you think about it, but yeah, I don't think anybody said that they reboot these movies actually be any good. And honestly, God, I hope they don't continue. I read something on continuing this franchise. Honestly, I hope God they don't, because I think it ended perfectly with War. Now we're in the top 5, people. Now coming in at number 5, we have the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. This is truly an incredible trilogy. I actually did do a top 10 best moments on this trilogy. I think back last year with my points. That's on my channel if you want to check that out. But I pretty much love all of these movies. Like, I think for me, my second is one of my favorite. And I go back and forth where the first one or Hidden World is my least favorite. Like, I go back and forth, but pretty much all of them are A+ movies. All of them are A first and plus movies. I mean, that's how good they are. That's how good they are. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a little back and forth. But the second one is still my favorite. It's truly one of my favorite animated sequels and sequels in general. Pretty much how you do a sequel right. But really, the first one was fantastic. It definitely surprised me. I don't think anybody expected the first one to be as good as it was, honestly. A lot of people thought it was going to be very generic, but it ended up being a very complex and it's going to be probably DreamWorks' most successful and beloved franchise. And for that good reason. And the first one is a great film that establishes a lot of these characters, a lot of the amazing relationship between Hickam and Toothless. The second really hit the emotions and the dark themes that it goes for, and with these characters, especially with Divine Hiccup's mom, and Marvin Hiccup's father, and the Toothless, and the villains. And Hidden World is a true emotional gut punch, which Hiccum Toothless and need to kind of let it go, and Toothless needs to move on to other things. And it probably has one of the most satisfying endings to any franchise ever. Like, I can't imagine anybody not crying at the ending, to be honest. Like, it's that emotional. But all these movies are fantastic, and I always let me watch these movies. I always support these movies, and thank God we're hopeful I'm getting more of these movies. Because I think they ended it perfectly here. I don't know how to continue on, to be honest. Anyways, now coming in at number 4, we have the Cornetto trilogy, done by Edgar Wright. I'm sure most of you guys expect to be on the list because if I'm my channel for long, it's not a huge, gigantic fan of Edgar Wright. He's actually probably my top 10 favorite directors of all time. He's a director I've honestly adored for so much. Like he's already had 5 movies, but all of them are pretty much some of my favorites of all time. Like, especially a Baby Driver, and I especially love Scott Pilgrim, but I pretty much love all the movies in the Cornetto trilogy. Like, all 3 of the Cornetto trilogy movies are fantastic. Like, I always have up and Down, which is my favorite, honestly. I know I kind of put Shaun of the Dead a little behind my favorites of all time, but I really like my where Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, or The World's End is my favorite or least favorite. Like, all 3 movies are fantastic. They kind of maybe kind of different in some ways, because they kind of do have the same actors, they kind of have connections to the rev system and stuff, but they really great. Like, Shaun of the Dead is a great zombie movie, and it's hilarious. Hot Fuzz is probably one of the funniest movies ever made. And The World's End is a really emotional movie that really is focused on 7 pigs alcoholism, which is pretty, like, it's definitely the most emotional one in the bunch. And The World's End I've not seen in a while, but I definitely still remember a lot from it. And Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz I watch at least once a year, and they're both fantastic and wonderful movies. Like, damn, like, I could write, like, if I haven't seen these movies already, like, they are truly phenomenal movies. And, like, now we get to number 3, and I kind of went back and forth between this, like, honestly. I kind of knew what number 1 was going to be, but my number 2 and 3, I kind of flop back and forth. Honestly, I think my top 3 in general kind of flop back and forth, honestly, because, yeah, I mean, back and forth. Like, So they could really change on. It's like be like up 1 minute, up down 1 minute. Anyways, coming in number 3, we have number 3. We have the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Probably one of the best known trilogies of all time. I do need to say why Lord of the Rings is great. Like Lord of the Rings, like all 3 movies are in my top 50 in my best films of all time list. I think if you saw the list, all 3 movies were my favorite. Damn thing, good reason. I actually also been playing the Lego version of Lord of the Rings, which really is actually not available to buy right now. Actually, first I forgot how amazing that game is, and it made me realize that, oh yeah, I remember how great Lord of the Rings were. Like me, I think every one of these movies do truly get better and better. Like I pretty much love all 3 of those movies. Trilogy does always my favorite. It's probably one of the most epic movies ever made. I mean, people compare a lot of movies to Return of the King. I mean, it's a good reason. And in fact, the movies being incredibly long, those movies just kind of just flow by. Like, they don't feel long. You have kids that have kids they do care about. They want to go on this journey with. Has amazing visuals, incredible characters, fantastic performances. So this is just a truly amazing trilogy. I always love Climax. Now, coming in at number 2, we have the original Star Wars trilogy. I know that really not to be number 1, but is Empire Strikes Back favorite movie of all time? Yes, Empire Strikes Back is my favorite movie of all time, and the original is my top 10 as well. And that's also Return of the Jedi because it's not 2 Jedi my least favorite, because it's not like as perfect as those other 2 movies. And I think how perfect the first 2 movies are. I mean, that in my top 10 best of all time is why this is a number 2. Now that's the reason why my number 1 is my number 1, but again, don't need to say why the original trilogy is great. The original really set the tone for the franchise. Empire Strikes Back is my favorite of all time. It has some best moments ever. And even though Return of the Jedi isn't that great, it's still something I always enjoy coming back to. And it still is a good ending to the trilogy. Not a perfect one, not I wanted, but still a great ending to the trilogy. Even though it's kind of less than impacted because the Palpatine's return. But I guess this real trilogy is so fantastic. I don't think I need to say why. But what could beat this trilogy? Well, you can guess, but before we get to my number 1, let's get into 10 movies, 10 trilogies that I still loved, but they did not quite make the list. And those 10 movies are the Iron Man trilogy of Iron Man 1, 2, and 3, the Blade trilogy with Blade 1, 2, and Trinity, the Hobbit trilogy, An Unexpected Journey, Desolation of Smog, and Battle of 5 Armies, the Ocean's 11 trilogy with Ocean's 11, 12, and 13, Thor with the original Thor, Dark World, and Ragnarok, which is really part of the reason why this trilogy is actually on this list, to be honest. And I think it's too small, but yeah. The Men in Black trilogy with Men in Black 1, 2, and 3, the Austin Powers trilogy with International Man Mystery, Spy Shag Me, and Goldmember, the Evil Dead trilogy with The Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness, the Godfather trilogy, Godfather 1, Part 2, and Part 3, and the trilogy that's just missed my list, the Back to the Future trilogy with Part 1, 2, and 3. All great trilogies, with some better than others, but overall really good trilogies that just weren't good enough to make the list. Now we get to what is my number 1 favorite trilogy of all time. Not really hard to say what's my number 1, honestly. Like, I think really my number 1 is really going to be on trilogy that I can't see myself coming back to very often, the most on movies, and not just being in films, but being a trilogy as a whole. I really thought really hard on what's going to be number 1. And it just really depends on how consistent the trilogy has been, and how emotional I felt, and how I can watch it as a trilogy in general. So, that being said, my number 1 favorite trilogy of all time, if you haven't guessed it, because I have mentioned already, but my number 1 is the Dark Knight trilogy. Yes, the Dark Knight trilogy is my number 1 favorite trilogy of all time. And I really thought how long what was going to be my number 1 favorite trilogy. I would say it'd be the trilogy that really has the most impact, has the most interesting aspects during the whole movies, and of course, one haven't been that one. It's like this trilogy when all the films are like better. Yeah, the third one at least, because the third one's probably the weakest one. But all these movies are probably A++ movies. First you got Batman Begins, which is easily my favorite origin story movie. Probably the best origin story movie of all time, honestly. But yeah, it's probably my favorite origin story movie of all time. It really just ton what to do. Chris Bill's might be the best Batman Bruce Wayne we have gotten, honestly, in my opinion. Remember, our incredible villain. I didn't even mind Kate Combs' performance, honestly. It's true that what an origin story really should do, especially how it's told. Dark Knight is easily my favorite superhero movie of all time. It's my top 3 best movies of all time for a particular reason. This is a truly incredible movie that really sets the tone for superhero movies in general. And you got Dark Knight Rises, which is always the weakest film that honestly continues to grow. I mean, the more I watch it. Dark Knight Rises is truly a phenomenal movie, and for any good reason, it truly is a phenomenal movie. I have this trilogy as my number one. I have this trilogy as my favorite DC movie and my favorite superhero villains of all time. But yeah, I think it's really because of how impactful this trilogy has been to many others, and how great Nolan has been at these movies, and how directed they are, and how this trilogy I can really pop any time. I'm not saying I can just think trilogy, but if I was to want to pick one trilogy I couldn't watch consistently, I would honestly go Dark Knight. Yeah, honestly, I can have to get to any other trilogies. It's just all trilogies. Because I love all these trilogies, but if I pick the one that's a good impact on me, I will go with the Dark Knight trilogy. That's why it is. Hope I explained it well. Why it is my number one favorite trilogy of all time. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed me suggesting my 10 favorite movie trilogies of all time. I would love to know down in the comment section down below. What are your favorite movie trilogies? What movie trilogies do you love the most? What do you consider to be a great movie trilogy? Let me know what your favorites are down below. I would love to know what videos on your special about it. And I have a lot more lists and rankings coming very soon, so be on the lookout for that. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly honestly appreciate it. If you haven't already, be sure to like this video, be sure to share and subscribe, be sure to follow all my social media sites, all the down description down below. I have some more reviews. After next time, as always, stay cool, everybody. Peace.